Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 2006 Hummer H1 Alpha Open Top. Now this car was produced between 1992 and 2006, with 11,818 being made, peak sales being in 1995 with 1,432 being made. It came in three variants: this open top, the Sport utility truck version, which is basically this version just with a hardtop roof with the pickup bit being exposed, and then the Alpha Wagon, which is the version that we've had on this game since release and on several other Forza games. And being based on the Humvee military vehicle, there is no doubt that this is a capable off-road vehicle, especially since it's got 16 inches of ground clearance, four-wheel drive, it can ford 30 inches of water, can climb a 22-inch step, and it even has the ability to increase and decrease the tyre pressure from the inside at the touch of a button. So that's just a few of the things that are on it that make it such a formidable off-roader. It's also got a winch at the front there, and it's got those big chunky tyres, and crucially all of the components that are on the underneath of the car are above the side skirts, so they are well above the water, well above any rocks or debris that you might drive across. So yeah, a very tough vehicle, which is one reason why, with the fact that it's got no roof and no rear bodywork, that this car is actually lighter than the hardtop Alpha Wagon version, because usually when you make a car convertible you've got to put more structural rigidity into it, because losing the roof is obviously a part of the structure, and you have to put more rigidity into it, so you have to make it heavier. But because this car is such a strong vehicle in its own right, losing the roof doesn't compromise the structural integrity of the vehicle at all. So despite the fact it does weigh 7,558 pounds, which is a hell of a lot, that is still nonetheless 556 pounds less than the Alpha Wagon. So yeah, big weight improvement over that car, meaning that it's not just about the visuals over the Alpha Wagon. And due to that weight loss as well, it also has 50-50 weight distribution, whereas the Alpha Wagon had it 52-48. So it's actually a more balanced vehicle as well, meaning that it handles better, and because of the lack of weight it actually stops better as well. So in terms of driving ability, it's an improved vehicle, though if you're going to go in serious off-roading, I wouldn't really recommend this, because if you did roll over, you've only got those two roll bars there protecting you from anything, and if rocks or trees or anything else is to enter the cabin, then you've not got much to protect you. So for serious off-roading I'd go for a hardtop version, but for generally driving around or light off-roading, then this would be a great car, because it weighs less, so it's more economical, but it handles a little bit better, so it's more capable on-road. And I do think it actually looks a little bit better than the hardtop Alpha Wagon for sure. Now, in terms of interior, well, it's same as usual, only 4 seats, because like I said, all of the components on the underneath are raised up, so that it means that they actually enter the cabin as well, which is why you've got such a large center console there, which runs all the way to the back, which means you only have 4 seats. So yes, for such a large vehicle, only 4 seats is really rather woeful. And because it's in this body style, it means you've got no interior space for boot space either. So yeah, if you're going to put in anything in the back here, be wary that it might be nicked. But yeah, outside of all that, yeah, it's a pretty good vehicle, to be honest. It's certainly one that deserves to be on this game, because obviously it's open world and you've got off-road elements to try out on. But in terms of being on a racing game, it's not much useful, because it still weighs a hell of a lot, while not having much in the way of power either, because it has the same engine as the H1 Alpha Wagon, meaning 300 horsepower, 520 pounds-feet of torque from a 6.6 litre turbo diesel V8. But it's still a capable engine in terms of dealing with off-road elements, because you got your radiator there at a 30-degree angle, well above where it would normally be on a normal car, so it's not going to get flooded by water very easily, as well as obviously the air intake being well above as well. But yeah, it's not a capable car in terms of speed or acceleration, but in terms of off-roading, it's easily one of the best mainstream vehicles to ever been built, quite frankly. But nonetheless, let's get out onto the open road and see what it can do. Now, despite having a major re-engineering overhaul in this year, production year, this was actually the last year of production. which is surprising considering how much effort they actually put into re-engineering it. Look on Wikipedia or whatever else to see how much they actually did, but they did a great deal, and part of that was actually this engine, which is, again is also available in the Alpha Wagon, which we already have on this game, and plenty of other Forza games as well. But still, because it has less in the way of weight than the Alpha Wagon, its 0 to 60 time of 10.6 seconds is better by 2.4 seconds. Oops, I was looking at my notes there. As yeah, the Alpha Wagon can only do it in 13 seconds. 0 to 100 times also improved at 38.017 seconds, whereas the Alpha Wagon could only do it in 45.021 seconds. But top speed is slightly less on this because of the open top nature of it, so it can only do 114 miles an hour, whereas the Alpha Wagon can do 121. But yeah, I really wouldn't want to be doing a more than 100 mile an hour in a vehicle like this, because yeah, even though it does weigh less, its brakes still aren't the best. It's not going to stop in anywhere near the same kind of distance as other off-road vehicles, because of the weight. It goes 2,000-ish pounds more than, you know, the heaviest kind of modern SUV on this game. So yeah, not much going for it in terms of braking, obviously, and certainly not in terms of speed or acceleration. But where this car does excel is in terms of off-road capability. Just like the Alpha Wagon, this is a more than capable vehicle in terms of off-road ability. You've got plenty of torque to go through all 4 of those wheels, and all of that ground clearance as well. So yeah, you're really not going to struggle off-roading in this car. Whether or not you keep it stock or not in terms of its engine and its power and torque is up to you, but even with the standard horsepower and torque, it's still more than capable of going up any hill that you're pointing it at, quite frankly. As you can see, might slow down a little, but it's more than capable of dealing with it. That is the kind of thing that you should be wary of, though, when driving an open-top off-roader, is going upside down. Doubt that would be a nice experience in real life. But yeah, great off-road vehicle, and yeah, it's a nice addition to the game. It's not a major difference over the Alpha Wagon version that we already have on the game. Like I said, it's only really generally in terms of acceleration, somewhat handling, and yeah, braking. That's really the only major differences between this and the hardtop version, outside of the visuals. So yeah, it's a decent vehicle. I'm glad it's part of the festival playlist though, because it means it's not taking up any space in the car pass that ended last year, or anything like that. You're not allowed to pay for it, anything. It is only free as part of the festival playlist, so that is all good. So yeah, I'm happy with its inclusion, especially since it is again being via the festival playlist. So your choice whether or not you want to get it, but I do recommend getting it because it is a fun vehicle to have in your collection. And at the end of the day, you only have to do a single championship, which is only 3 races. So yeah, get out there and get it if you haven't already. It is obviously lasting until next week, but yeah, it's well worth trying out, especially if you're into your off-road vehicles and you'd like a different looking and slightly different version of the Hummer H1, because yeah, it might be radically different in terms of its visuals, but even in terms of acceleration and general handling, it's also a slight enough difference to be worth trying out. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.